On the voting gauntlet. Oh, yeah, that seems about right. Yep, I'm just gonna stockpile flags now, and, hopefully get my Camilla up there, which I will probably do a little bit later. Anyways, get this going. Good lord, poor Crom. But let's talk about banners, guys. A lot of you were talking on my gun throw video. For those who don't know, I did a really... I'm really happy of it, about it. I'm really glad I made it. It was really something I was really proud of. So if you haven't already, it'll be at the end of this video if you want to go check it out. I put a lot of production value into it. I was really happy. I want to do more like that. But I think I'm going to be skipping the New Year's units because I want to get on the, just be on the ground and ready to go when new units come out. So I'll probably save it and have something ready for the next banner, which will probably be in about a week. So if you guys are interested in more of that, do tell me. Anyways, less about that, more about what we're going to be talking about today. Because a lot of those comments in that banner, for that banner and for a lot of it was, good lord, legendary banners suck. And someone actually asked me on Discord, I said something along the lines of legendary banners are god-awful at times. And yes, they are. They really, really are when it comes to trying to pull for a specific unit. Now, just so we're clear, legendary banners seem to be mostly for those, one, who want to collect seasonal units, or two, are new to the game and need some powerful units. So I have no problem with that. The problem, however, comes with a lot of other things. Now, just as a reminder for those who don't remember, always, if you want to send feedback, you can do so from customer support right there, or at least I think it's still open for a little while longer. Oh, hey, look, there's Fjorm. You can get her again. There's this banner. I'm just trying to make sure it's here. Oh, weapon refinery. Ah, yes, there we are. There's the survey on, I believe it ends the 9th, yes, the 9th of January. If you haven't already, go do it. They have a lot of things for feedback, and they're probably going to pay more attention to the survey than they would to feedback, at least. So I actually went through that just a bit ago and gave them a earful about how they handled last legendary banner, because I feel they did terribly, not because of, the summoning pool alone, just because of how it went down. So, Gunther was announced probably just, when we figured it would happen. They're like, at the end of December, there's going to be another legendary banner. And we were like, okay, cool. Is it just going to be Fjorm? And then we find out it's Gunther, which is cool. I don't mind that. Having Gunther means that chances are the next legendary banner is going to have another legendary hero, and we're probably going to continue this trend every end of the month, which I guess is fine. It's cool. I understand completely. You maybe want to add in, a legendary hero for every element, and now we have wind, so I half expect, another one next month, or this month, I guess, at the end of this month. I forget, it's January now. But still, I will say they handled Gunther terribly. And mostly because of how they handled it, it came down to timing. Okay, so, we knew that there was probably going to be a New Year's banner, which is fine, I understand that. But then they brought out Gunther. Not only did they bring out Gunther in how they, with that, they also just decided, hey, Gunther's only, her banner, it's only going to last 4 days. 4 days for a 12-pool summoning. That is ridiculous. That is a lot to take in such a little amount of time that I don't think anyone was really prepared for it. And if they were prepared for it, at least before Gunther came out, then they announced the New Year's banner, and then everyone lost their damn minds, and it was absolutely outrageous. Personally, I think if they're going to do legendary banners, maybe space it out a little bit more, okay? We don't need one every end of the month. I understand you guys want to bring it out. And if you're going to do that, that's fine, but just bringing that out exactly at the time that not only was the Christmas banner ending, but you were going straight into the New Year's one, to say I was livid was a little bit more of an understatement. Simply put, bad practice. And that's not even talking about summoning pools and things like that. I know some of you may get annoyed because I complain about this, but let me just say, okay? 12 heroes is a lot more. I like banners a lot more like how the New Year's events have been handled, and honestly, a lot of the newer banners have been handled. Not this one. This one, we'll talk about why that one's bad. But the one thing you'll notice, a lot of the banners nowadays, they seem to be 3 characters. Only 3 characters. And the reason for this is because, one, it lessens the value of, just pulling of doing full pulls, and of course you have more chances of actually getting the focus units, usually a lot better. To give you an example, New Year's banner, Flyzera there, if you were to summon at a base rate of 3%, you have about a 5% chance of getting her, which is pretty nice. You might end up getting that Pity Breaker, which sucks, but you still have a pretty decent rate of getting her, just because how pools work. And even then, these two characters, the other two characters have like a 3%, 4% chance, which, honestly, in fact, actually, I just looked, 3.9% chance for Takumi base value, and Camilla is 3.2, which, not the best, but that gives you an idea of what you get when you try to summon for her. I tend to find these banners a lot more pleasing than any sort of legendary banner. And they've been doing this a lot more. They've been doing 3-person banners, and they've been separating the colors a lot more. Blue, green, red, things like that. Red, colorless green, and of course with this, red, colorless green. Same sort of thing, same sort of correlation. That is something I find a lot more appealing when it comes to summoning on these banners, because I find these ones a lot more easier to deal with. So then what exactly is the problem with the legendary banners? Well, 12 units is a lot. And then, of course, you remove the non-focus thing, which is fine, I get it, that's cool, and then you up the rate to 8%. But the thing is, when you up the rate to 10%, 8%, and then you go and you add 12 units, the summoning rate for them does not really change too much. You have about the same chance of pulling them as you would in a normal banner, and to top it all off, you tend to have more problems trying to get a specific character. You can't really aim for any of them. And if you do, you're gonna be bashing your head against the wall because, well, you're gonna have a lot of problems. I know a friend who went through and wanted Gunthra so much. They tried so hard. They spent $300 on it. $300 on that banner because she came out, they really liked her art, they really liked her, they wanted a good horse emblem unit, and, well, they went for it. They ended up with 3 Amelias instead, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles when it comes to those kind of banners, because they are the most gambling-oriented aspect of the game right now. Outside of these banners, they are probably the most atrocious when it comes to it. So how would you fix it, is the question. How would you tweak this problem that seems to be persisting when you do legendary banners? Well, there's a few ways you can probably do it. You could probably up the summoning rate. I know a lot of you keep suggesting that, but I really feel that the best way to go about it would probably go with how they started doing the 3-person banners, and that was, of course, with Celica and Alm's army, where, I don't know if you guys remember those banners, they brought out 6 characters at a time. One day, 1 month, they were just like, here are 6 characters. 6 of them. Have fun getting them. And that was not including Tobin, who was also brought in the data, so I guess technically 7, but, anyways. Still, what they did there was something that was really very nice of them. Instead of just sticking them all into a banner of 6, they separated them into 3. They separated them into Alm and Celica's army, which is good. That gave better chances of pulling on these units, better chances of getting those units, and the trend of 3-people banners or 3-person banners has kind of lived on since then, and that's something that's good. Something a little bit better. And, people get mad when they separate characters, certain characters from one banner or another, but if they tell you beforehand, that at least gives you an idea. And not only that, but it's typically better that those characters get separated into, if at all, a 3-person banner with just them. That means that there is at least a bit of a better chance to pull from them. Typically, I feel that's a little bit of better example. So, the question then becomes, should you bother with legendary banners? At this point, unless you really need a powerful character in any of those colors, I would say stick to these. Stick to these banners, unless you really want a legendary hero. Because, well, even then, legendary heroes don't really seem to be that worthwhile. Fjorm was a good example of something that could be pretty powerful. She's a good unit. Gunthra struggles at times. She's really only made for being used in a horse emblem team. She can be pretty viable outside of it if you have the right resources, but really it just isn't something worthwhile when it comes to that, unless you just want to do a blank shot into a summon that you know you can get a powerful unit from. And I know a lot of you don't really seem to want to aim for that. But, you know, they could, of course, separate them into 6, you know, people each. Or they could just, you know, reduce the number of heroes and reduce the summoning rate to something. Because, again, you know, at least when you reduce this, you know, amount of characters, you can at least know you're going to get one of them. Because, again, non-focus is set to 0. I'm not sure how anyone would go about tweaking the, you know, Legendary Heroes banners. Because, honestly, I'm at the point where I don't want to do them. Because the way they handled Gunthra just made me so sour on the whole thing. It made me sour for a lot of people. It made me sour for a lot of things. I know it probably sounds like I'm complaining, but let's just face the facts here, people. Gunthra was not handled correctly, and Legendary banners, if they continued to do it the way they did, I would prefer they do Hero Fest, honestly. Bring back Hero Fest. At least that way, we had characters that were powerful, you can aim for them, and you got a good chance at doing it. Outside of, hey, here's a 12-person banner, you're not sure what you're gonna get. But you might get lucky. You might get her. I don't know. What are your opinions on Legendary banners? What are your opinions on Hero Fest? Should that come back? Should any of this? I personally feel I like sticking to the 3-person banner formula. It just works so much better for me. That's just me, though. But feel free to sound off in the comments, guys. I would like to hear you. I'm sorry for the ramble that this is about Legendary banners, but there isn't really much else. So, anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.